too funny. Like, really?
Bro.
Man.
Serious consequences.
Do you know what? There's one time I've actually been saying I was going to tell Demi this theory because this is a theory that I've had about people who have siblings of 4.
Ooh.
So when you have
Wait,
4,
listen to the intro
We
first.
got to do the
Okay,
intro.
shout out A-Class, and then get into that
Now
theory.
we're in sync.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. Nah, I'm joking. We're sick.
I'm Roz.
I'm Ree,
And I'm Princess.
And we are Get the Gist podcast.
where we make the hard conversations easy.
You are now tuning into your weekly subscription to the Gist.
And you guys, you know, we are with the HANDBAGS Creator Network.
You know the vibes. Guys, we are having conversations. Many podcasters aren't having. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Where else are you going to hear a girl say she wants to hold his thing and help him pee?
And we're still to this day.
She's standing by her
To this
man.
day.
That's her man.
You know, I realize I'm that person that, like, on the first day, I'm like, time's ticking. I need my eggs cracked.
Do you love me?
Literally.
Ready for twins?
One of the first day questions. So let's say you needed to pee. Would you be okay with me assisting you with that? Or
He's not saying no.
Yeah.
he's not saying no.
He's not
Especially
saying
with this lip gloss. Yeah.
Shawty, she a freak, 10-10 freak. She don't want to speak, she want beat to the beat. I'm the voice of the street, it's a freak in the sheet. She want me for her tea, I got me for your meat. I am mad. Shawty's in that man with
Okay, so we got that. At least we got that.
We got that?
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
But yeah, man. Listen, it's my birthday tomorrow. But obviously today is the 11th, guys. So my birthday is on the 12th. But this will be out next week. So you know. But yeah, I'm excited.
This is your last day of
20 fine.
20 fine.
And now you're 20 sexy.
Jinx.
You guys are so in sync. Sometimes like we're getting jealous. We're getting jealous. It's like you know when you know them like toxic things where it's like, let's say for example, Roz is my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like my best friend is now cozy with my boyfriend. They're play fighting.
You're allowed to feel weird about that.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
You're allowed to feel weird about that.
But you see them things. And in the comments they'll be like, who's gonna tell her?
No, like I watch those videos and say it has to be a skit. Like it has to be a skit.
It has to.
Like
it
you can't.
They're knacking. They're knacking.
No, but I actually I was listening to this TikTok story actually, and it was about this lady, and she was basically saying that like she there's something wrong with her. That sounds really mean to say. You know, if I speak really blunt sometimes, she has a deficiency in something, right? So anyways.
Deficiency in what?
I can't remember. I woke up at 3:30 this morning and like I just couldn't sleep. So I was like scrolling through TikTok because I was like, you know, podcasting.
4:30. Roz, 4:30 is the start of the day.
Girl, I don't know what's been going on with my body clock. I went to bed at 12 and I woke up myself for 4:30 and I have so much energy now and I've had no coffee.
Bro, can I tell you, waking up early is a cheat code.
Really? You think so?
It is.
I feel like at 12 I'm like I'm like,
but it's crazy how little sleep I need to function. Like it's actually not normal, which I'll also get onto that later on. But like, so I was going through TikTok and I was listening to her story and I can't remember what she said was her deficiency. Just to say that politely. But she's highly susceptible to BV. She always gets it, right?
Does she have a boyfriend?
No, but she always gets it because of what she has. Now, so her sister moved into a house with her, right? I'm sure you guys can already figure out where this is going. Her sister moved into a house with her, and all of that was fine or whatever. But then there was something that happened where her sister got BV. And she didn't think anything of it because, you know, girls can get BV every now and then.
Are they palm color?
Of course they're palm color. Well,
Okay.
they're slightly tanned palm color.
Okay, so spicy.
They're spicy. So her sister got BV. She didn't think anything of it really. And then that was fine. She cured her BV. Then she got it again. But because she's always catching them, she never thought anything. Like she used to get prescribed like special tablets from the doctor for them all the time. So she always had I'm sure it's probably antibiotics at home or something to help with them anyway. So then she ended up giving some to her sister. Then something happened where she was like, okay, I have it. Now, I thought I cleared it up. Now you have it. And she was just like, they just kept on getting it at the same time.
Interesting.
So she was like, 1 + 1 = 2. Like, it really does equal 2. So she was at a family party or something like that, and her sister left her phone, and there she is, gone into the phone, and she can see the text messages between her sister and her boyfriend. Well,
Crazy.
boyfriend slash baby daddy as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so she found out that what would happen was that she would cure her BV, but then because she had BV, she was obviously passing it on to her partner, who was passing it on to her sister. And then
Ew.
her sister was then having BV, then passing it back to her after she had cleared it up. So it was just a massive circle
Family
of the
ties.
family getting BV. And then she told her mom about it, or showed her mom the messages, and her mom walloped her, and then her sister walloped her, and then the whole family beat the crap out of her.
The
Yeah.
sister that gave
Yeah.
the homewrecker.
Yeah, the homewrecker.
Bro. Sometimes I'm happy I'm an only child. Sometimes I'm happy.
I feel like the way I set myself is nobody and the other person, we don't have the same type.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if your sister cheated, like, was...
Get with my partner.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've thought about these things. So
Tell
I've
us.
mentally prepared myself for this kind of situation. So obviously, if my sister was to turn around and my brothers was to come to me and say, "Yeah, your sister got onto me, and I was weak and I fell for it," I'll be like, "Calm, I'll just leave."
Roz?
I'll just leave. Like I'll just leave.
So my sister,
I'll
like
just
my
leave.
sister, like
I'll just leave.
you can't get rid of family. Like, you can't get rid of family, but someone has to disappear.
Christmas is gonna be awkward.
Ooh,
Like to be
birthdays
honest,
will be
I
awkward.
don't know. Like
Any family function,
Birthday.
weddings, funerals will be awkward.
Yeah.
I'm like a rip the bandage off type of person. Like I'll ask the whys or whatever, but sometimes in the grand scheme, does the whys matter? Why am I just gonna delay the inevitable of the fact that I just have to get over it? So I'd rather just get over it day one.
That's how you are a good person, because that's something really, really hard to get over.
It is really like it's gonna be terrible. Like don't get it twisted. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna need like 10 holidays. I can't be around her for like a couple months. A lot of prayer, fasting, a new man, a house, maybe couple K, and then like I'll be okay. But like I'm not gonna direct my energy.
I think I
Yeah.
feel good after
Yeah,
that.
after that, I need
need-
to make a couple Ks. Well,
Nah.
yeah, sis, what would you do? Sis,
I need
you're jumping
one
on
day
the
of
money.
crash out. One day. And then, like, we can have the forgiveness after it, but there's gonna be at least one day that it's gonna be like the not the Conjuring, what was that? Doomsday.
Doomsday.
You know that day where everything is on limits.
Oh, the purge.
The purge. I'm
Purge.
purging out. Like there's
Yeah.
I hear it. I hear it. I hear it.
Yeah.
And then we can say, like, even just family events,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like,
You're
I'll just
one
cause
side of
drama.
no, you're one side of the building and I'm on the other side.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like, if we're face to face, I will say something sly. Like, the whole family will know that you're a hoe.
Yeah, no, you know the way with the speeches and everything. I'll be like, I've got a few words to say about my whole ass sister.
Your mom will be like, take that back, take that back.
Yeah.
But like, damn.
I think
siblings.
that's what it'll be like. I'll obviously be very angry, but one thing I don't like is people see me weak unless you're my girls. Unless your name is me, Roz, Aisha. So, because all my girls, y'all know who you are. Like, unless you're them, no one is seeing me. I don't want anyone to see me now.
Maybe you have to get with him.
Hmm?
You have to get with my partner then. Like, I'll be done with him. But you,
Or
you
like,
have
no,
to get
like
together.
Reese says, it's for love. Like, it has to be for love.
You have to be
Oh.
for love. Like, I don't even care it's for love. You are sticking together. And you are suffering together.
Yeah.
Do you get me? I'm not going to say, listen, I'll forgive you both, but you have to stay together.
No, but then
break up.
But then your children will be nieces and siblings.
Yeah, anyways, that's their own. I'll be chilling. I'll be chilling.
But just
Because I'll be stress-free. I won't have a cheating
No,
ass
but like,
husband.
imagine going to school and your kids have to do like a family tree project, and it's like their siblings are their cousins.
That's their
It's
own.
looking like,
That's what they've done.
you know the Christmas thing? It's just looking like that.
Nobody will ever forget it. Because now your nieces are also
Consequences.
your kids, step-kids. Do you know
Serious
what I mean? If you have more
consequences?
kids, your kids are also your step nieces and everything, and you can just mess up the family tree. Everybody can ask you questions for the rest of your lives. Why you have step cousins and step siblings and step kids, and I'll be the rich auntie
Yeah.
that gets weekends off. Every weekend, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Suffer.
Oh, that is too funny. Like, me.
Bruh.
My theory?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is theories for like siblings of 4. Okay, sibling number 1 and sibling number 2 butt heads all the time. So sibling 1 it usually tends to be the favorite. They've been around the longest. As much as the parents say they don't have favorites, it's sibling 1. Sibling number 2, everyone wishes number 2 was like number 1. Sibling number 2 is always problematic. Always. They're the
Middle
one that
child.
clashes with the parents, clashes with the with the older siblings. Yeah. Sibling number 3 is usually best friends with sibling number 1. And they tend to have the same personality or similar enough. Like they get on real well.
Interesting.
Sibling number 4, because they're the last born, people sometimes think they're like favorite by default because the parents ain't having no more after that. So they always get the most love. And they also have all the older siblings taking care of them because they're the baby. But like they're also a little bit problematic because they're the baby. Did I eat?
Word for word, bar for bar, M for M.
Yeah.
I won't talk on it too much because it's family matters or whatever, but I do get Michael has my heart. Michael's my
Third one, Emmanuel.
there's twins. Michael.
That's my love right there.
Like that's like he literally said in the house the other day, he goes like because it was Sunday and my older brother was about and he was like a older adopted brother. He was about and he was like Michael, who's your favorite? Oh no, who gives you more stress? Or these women are stressing you out in the house because yeah, everyone does. But Demi doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, you ate it word for word.
Michael is my Emmanuel.
Guys, comment below if you agree with Roz's.
It's correct. I know it's correct. Because I have Daibo, that's the second one. And even in like primary school, the teachers used to be like, why can't you not be like Rosalind? Then you have Emmanuel. Like when I was away for my friend's wedding, right? And she did like a surprise like bridal thing for us where she tricked us into showing up. And I was like, I have to come home and cook. I was like, Emmanuel, can you do the dishes? Emmanuel was like, oh, they're already done. He doesn't even live in the house. He came from his home to the house and cleaned without me having to.
Yeah. Obviously though, like as siblings do
the
grow,
other ones.
yeah, no, as they're growing up though, you do tend to like, you know, just grow out of it and realize that making money is way more important than arguing with me at 2 a.m. I also realize as well that if you can't deal with the siblings in your house, dealing with people outside your house is going to be way hard. Like if you can't have a simple conversation with your sibling and find out what the problem is and come up with a solution, it's good luck to you outside. I feel like also God puts you in those kind of situations as well, so then like you're ready to deal with the outside world.
Yeah, because sibling number 2, as much as they love fighting with you, they gonna fight for you. Ooh, like I'm scared of anyone who pisses off sibling number 2 because he's coming for you.
I only have god siblings. So my godfather has 3 or 4 god siblings. And I always ask him now. Obviously, I'm the first. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, yeah, you know the vibes. And I always ask him like, "Who's your favorite?" And he always says the other one. But that's just to make me strong.
It's a good character.
It's like so. The thing is, it's like it goes on to a joke. Like, wait, I was having my mom. I'm always like, "Who's your favorite?" Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll ask her her favorite, everything. She's like, "I don't have favorites." And like, obviously, we can't do that with me because it's just me and her. You get me? I asked my godfather, like, because I'll be like, "Who's your favorite friend?" She was like, "I don't have favorites, really. I love them all differently. I love them all and everything." And I asked my godfather, I'd be like, "Who's your favorite?" He's like, "This person." I'll be like, "Okay, very fast." But then I'll be like to him, like, "Who's your favorite godchild?" He'd be like, "Amy Jean." And like, I'll be like, "Which?" I'm your favorite godchild. He's like, Amy Jean is my favorite godchild. So now on like Christmas cards or birthday cards, he'll be like Amy Jean and then he'll cross it out. And then he'll be like But it's just to make me a stronger
no, he's definitely pulling your legs for
Goodness
sure. He's pulling your legs.
That's so funny.
He ate that.
Just of the week. First one, the only one I have. Oloni said that like just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you have to keep it. And the Shade Borough grabbed that and posted it. Now, I don't even know what I was gonna say to this, but I was just like,
I have something to say. Should I say something?
Say what
I
you
have
need to say.
something to say. I know children can be blessings, right? But sometimes it could be your biggest curse.
Wow. Yeah.
8.
I don't know, like when it's techie.
It's very techie.
Because you know what we should do, right? You know what we should do? Caution people the steps caution them before they get pregnant. So like,
Yeah.
what?
Push them down those stairs.
No,
Push them down.
that's not what I meant.
No, but I think
I didn't mean that.
you know what? A baby is
Yeah.
one of the biggest commitments that you'll make in your life. Not only to yourself, but to the whoever you're gonna have a baby with. If it's your partner, your baby daddy, friend, I don't know, foe, I don't know. This is honestly one of the biggest decisions that you'll ever make, and it changes your life forever. You're never gonna go back to the life that you had. And I think if there was more awareness of how much it's gonna change your life, a lot of people would choose differently, maybe before they get into that situation.
That's what I'm saying.
But I definitely believe, like, I am such an advocate. Her body, her choice.
Yeah,
If you're not, I would rather women put themselves in a situation where they are able to provide and be a dependable parent rather than be a parent of struggle and not give a child the dedication and welfare that they deserve.
100%.
And if they're not in a position to provide that to a child, I think they should act their best.
What I wanted to say was that's exactly because like cool before you obviously I'm not what she said wrong or right, that's not the main point. It's about like advising before you decide to even let the sperm because apparently the ovaries pick the sperm, they send out signals.
They go
Literally they go I want you signals meets the sperm before that even happens. Like who is this guy that you're deciding to have research with? You know, what's his last name? Do you know? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, majority of people aren't thinking that far to see like if this person is a good father. But it's like honestly, what I said there, that baby it will be a blessing, but that man could be your biggest curse, yo.
Think about it. Think about it. Like, is he impregnating you to keep you as one of his Yu-Gi-Oh cards, his Pokemon cards, or does he really love you? Ask yourself that.
Well, I don't think, to be honest, I don't think a man, like, I think, you should have a baby for love, do you know what I mean? But don't have a baby with a man because you think he'll love you.
Right.
You get
louder.
Yeah.
Louder.
You choose, I think, like, if you have, like, a little tick box of, like, what you want in a man, on that list should be, will he be a good father? Separate to me.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen. And it's all good to have this family unit and stuff like that. And that's all what we should strive towards, if that's what we want. But I think you should always look at the person and be like, will they be a good influence on my future children?
Yeah.
Separate of what I bring to the table. Because I think it's very good for children to have two active parents in their life, if God willing, if it's meant to be, and they should be able to be good parents separate of each other. And that shows that gives your children independence. But I think a lot of people aren't ready to have those conversations because you think, you want to have children because a lot of people have children because they feel lonely. They want to have this picture perfect family.
He has a hairline.
Do you get me?
Trying to keep the man.
Trying to keep the
Thinking
man.
he won't leave you
He's an
because you
athlete.
have that baby.
Yeah.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
His parents are rich.
Yeah.
He drives a nice car.
Hurt.
He has his own place.
Now, those things might benefit.
No,
but
but it's not enough.
It's
He
not
will still
enough.
treat you like crap.
Yeah.
Even with having all of those. If that man do not want you, you can have his child and he will still be your biggest enemy.
He could be 32, drives a nice car, has his own place, very tall. Roz would say his hairline is not there, but I think it was there.
His forehead and his hairline.
Doesn't mean you should allow him to give you a
directions.
Okay.
Loading.
It's so loading.
But
doesn't mean you should let him have your kids, right, Roz?
no,
100%.
but I think as like we're
that baby girl.
shaping the next generation, like kids are literally the next generation. Like at one point
Yeah.
we're gonna be old, we're gonna be like elders, and we're gonna be looked after like we look after our elders. So it's like when you think about it like that, it's a huge responsibility to be a parent.
Yep.
Yes, you have the good times. Don't get me wrong. I love being a parent. Do you know what I mean? But also, I feel this undoubted pressure of just being like, this person, I'm going to shape this person's life. And you just want to like have the tools. Like you can only do the best that you can, but just make sure that you have the right tools in the box before you start building.
Yeah.
She's eating with that. And you know what? I wanted to touch on something actually a little bit serious. So this can kind of be like gist of the week because it's currently what's happening in America. But when you were saying my body, my choice. Okay, so there's this lady who I think her name is one second. Oh, I'm trying to find what year it is. Okay, actually, guys, give me 2 seconds.
Is this the case that's going on in the US at the moment of this woman who was in an accident and was officially declared brain dead?
Yep.
But
Her body's still working.
but because she was pregnant and the pregnancy was still viable, they're keeping her on life support against the wishes of her family and partner.
Because of the law of the...
Yep, you're not allowed to
Because
terminate pregnancies. I think once it's
Roe
passed,
versus Wade was overturned.
overturned because of Trump last year.
Trump,
I
yeah.
think is you can't have an abortion is it after 6 weeks anymore.
You
something like
can't have
that?
an abortion after 6 or 9 weeks. Yeah, something like that. And even if it's medical, like you can't even have medical abortions. So it's like you really just can only miscarry. And even if you miscarry and it's thought to been that you like
You didn't...
alluded, like you like assisted with that, you can still go to prison. It's scary times because sorry, just for facts out there, most people don't find out they're pregnant until like 7 to 10 weeks.
Flo is like...
Yeah. I found it.
gosh.
So this is, I was able to get ChatGPT to find this out. So it's a 30-year-old Georgia woman named Adriana Smith who worked as a nurse and was 9 weeks pregnant. So that's why I think it's 6 weeks. So she suffered a medical emergency in early February where she was declared brain dead due to multiple blood clots in her brain.
Jeez.
However, the Emory University Hospital has kept her on life support for over 3 months because of the heartbeat law, because the baby has a heartbeat after 6 weeks. So if you don't get that abortion before 6 weeks, you have to carry that child to full term, even if you're dead, which is also something that's really scary science-wise, because it's kind of like nearly Handmaid's Tale, where like women are now just being kept to have babies. Like if they're able to do this, you know the amount of dead bodies that they'll probably start using to carry babies, because the dead bodies will have a womb. As long as that body is being able to be kept on life support, they can breed children. That's what even makes this even more scarier.
But I think like what's sort of like bringing it down to like back down to basics, like 6 weeks pregnant, you've only missed your period for 2 weeks. Yeah, for 2 weeks, because if you think about it, you're 2 weeks ahead. So like it's like you add 2 weeks to your cycle when you're pregnant, because it counts for the 2 weeks of ovulation. So you're actually only 2 weeks late for your period, which is like most people don't find out. Some people don't find out until they're like 10, 12 weeks.
Too late.
They're the lucky ones, but
So now they're saying they're planning on keeping her body alive until she's at least 32 weeks. And when the fetus might survive independently, but the baby currently has fluid on the brain and faces serious health risks. So they're keeping the baby in a dead body. The family's also being charged for her being in that hospital because she's on life support.
For the
like, do you
medical
know
bills.
the medical bills? Like, do you know the bills that she's racking up? Like she passed away when the baby was 9 weeks, and they have to keep her to term till at least 32 weeks. So that is 23 weeks worth of bills that her family has to pay before she's even buried. She also has
that's
a
a
son.
house.
Literally.
But I think like
That's actually so like that's so annoying that they still have to pay for that.
And especially in
it's
America,
heartbreaking.
like those medical bills, ayo.
They're not
But it's
even
like
cheap.
it's like 20 grand to even give birth in a
Depending in
hospital.
some places even more.
But I think it's so sad because like obviously a tragic thing happened to this
lady,
and like a part of grief is the like letting them go.
Letting them go, exactly.
And I say like that's such a horrible position for a family to be in, because you can't grieve somebody who isn't gone. Like if you think about it, technically she's still alive, like so she's
her body's alive.
So
she's brain dead, but her every other thing in her body's working to keep this baby alive.
Yeah.
And then even at that now, they're keeping her there for the 32 weeks does not mean that once that child is born, that child will be born without health complications. And then on top of it, who's now responsible for taking care of that child? The husband and the grandparents now have to raise a child for their daughter who has died how many, like 8 months ago?
I'm just even thinking about the resources that can be used for people who are like, you know, in need of those resources they're using to keep this woman alive.
Yeah,
Do you get me?
100%.
Although yes, like, you know, keeping the baby alive and whatnot first, but like the woman, that this situation, yeah, is absolutely so techie, so wrong, so like uncomfortable, so annoying, all at the same time.
Guys,
Not to be
it's, I'm
too
not even gonna
emotional,
lie,
but like it's actually just like,
it's a massive
because obviously there's
science.
life there, you know, which is beautiful. However, at what cost?
It's a science experiment.
But it's tragic because it's against everyone's wishes.
Yeah.
Like if this was something, because a lot of like when you like it's actually a part of pregnancy people don't really talk about. But like I remember, like when I was pregnant, I was talking to my babies, being like if anything was to happen in pregnancy, because it
Yeah.
is so dangerous. Like
Mhm.
like you have to sort of make that call of like
Decision.
like what would
Mother, baby.
yeah.
For a baby.
It's like, and it's like I think people should actively have those conversations because
Mhm.
you never know what happens. But she's obviously told her wishes to say,
Mhm.
I don't want this. Like I like if I go, I don't want to
Yeah.
keep the baby viable. And what's so tragic is that day that that baby is born is going to be her official day that she passes.
Yeah, because they have to
And
switch
that's
off all the
tragic.
machines. I actually never thought of that.
And
Right?
that's
That's
like
so crazy.
that's so sad. And do you know what's like because I actually only dealt with it in my family, like with when people die, like especially of a brain injury,
Mhm.
they have the rest of their body is actually quite viable.
They
So
have, yeah.
they can be an organ donor.
Yeah.
So there's actually so much lives, depending if she wants to be an organ donor or
Yeah.
not, but there's actually so much lives that could be saved. And her body actually could be her life could be put to use in the sense of helping other people in different ways. But I don't know, because her body, like it might not be possible anymore because she's been in bed rest for so long. So it's like
Yeah,
people that
it's true.
need
Like a
treatment.
machine is basically beating her heart and breathing her lungs for her.
Yeah.
Isn't it even possible right now that like you can have a baby outside the womb? It's like science is
Like, what do you mean outside the
maybe
womb?
maybe I was
I think with IVF, the egg is made outside of the womb, but it's
Oh.
in
It
sort
needs to
like you
grow
need to be
inside
able
the
to.
womb. Yeah, it needs to be
Okay.
inside the womb to at least develop the organs and placenta and
Maybe I was
things like
reading one
that.
of them like in 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
can make the eggs though. Like you can make the eggs and then put them inside the
tube
womb.
babies,
So
yeah.
test tube. So that's what how IVF is made. Like
yeah.
So babies can't be made without a womb.
they can be grown outside the womb, but they
No.
can be made like
Yeah.
for outside the
Yeah,
womb.
it actually tends to be quite dangerous if like this is what they call ectopic pregnancies, is when the formation of the baby happens in your fallopian tubes, and that actually ends up being really dangerous for women, where you might actually have to get rid of that whole side of your fallopian tube and ovaries. So it is quite dangerous. But it's like the maddest thing about this is that, guys, it's I feel like it's unlocking a new chapter in science. Like, and that's what I find to be the scariest thing. So
Yeah.
as you said, number one, the saddest thing is that her day of death is also going to be the day the baby's born. And then on top of it, like, they might be able to use some of her organs and stuff like that, but it just makes you think that what else are people now going to be capable of being able to do. It's like she's just being looked like, it's like she's a factory. She's just a baby making machine at the moment.
But it's against her wishes, and
And I'm sure
that's
it's against everyone's wishes. Like, I feel so sorry for everybody involved, because it's the law. If anybody stops this from happening, they're going to prison. The
prosecuted.
doctor will be prosecuted. The nurses will be prosecuted. Her family will be prosecuted. Like, everybody has to say yes, even though I'm sure nobody wants this to happen at the moment.
Yeah.
The fact that her family are being charged per second
Yeah.
that she's in there. And like, the only reason why, once again, this can even happen, I think, is because they probably have like life insurance. What if she didn't have life insurance? What happens then?
Yeah.
So is she just
They're
kept
left
on
with the
this
bill.
machine, and they're having to figure out this bill, but once this baby is had, and then they're racking up tons of debt that they can never pay?
Because it's 24, like when someone's on life support, it's 24-hour care. They're in a
Yeah.
very small thing. They're in a very small section or ward because they need to be constantly checked, especially, and because she's pregnant, like there's not just like one thing that's wrong with, like, that's going on, like the life support, like keeping her body alive, then also
Keeping the baby alive.
keeping the baby
The
alive. Do you know how
feeding.
much bills?
Feeding. She has like she's not eating, so they're feeding her to make sure the baby's getting nutrients.
Getting fed, testing to make sure that she's okay,
Yeah.
baby's okay, constant checks. This all costs money. And it's like, and now a husband is literally not going to lose his wife,
Yeah.
has a child to rear, is preparing for another child to be brought
Yeah.
into this world, and a huge amount of debt that maybe he can't even afford, because that's one less income that's
Yeah.
going into the house.
100%.
And you think that's fair?
A little baby that can't say goodbye to his mom because mommy's still there in the hospital. And the thing as well with like having people on life support is because their body's still alive, their body is moving, their body is warm. Like
Yeah.
that child doesn't get to process that their mom is gone.
Yeah.
No one in the family gets to process that because like she might be laid there, but she could still move. And sometimes it might give them like false hope that she's actually still there. And I'm like, yo. And in America, they charge you down to the cutting bud. Q-tips for the Americans listening. They charge you down to the cutting buds that they use on you in America. This is like that bill is hefty. But yeah, yo, right now, America, have fun, baby girl.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Oh,
She's
I'm
up on
going-
holidays there.
I'm going there to shake my ass on a yacht, bro. Shit.
And may you arrive back to my country and come here and sit on this couch safely in Jesus' name.
Have a chicken
bro.
roll.
Don't get detained by ICE.
No. I actually did my Esther today.
God bless
I
you.
got
Love it.
approved under
Do you-
24 hours.
Do you know this TikTok star? You know the TikTok star that went viral for never saying a word but always like acting as a cabbie?
Yeah.
He got detained by ICE guys.
And then
because
he left.
Yeah, and he chose to leave. So he's probably not going to be allowed back in the States because he overstayed his visa and then he got caught by ICE and now he voluntarily left, which thank God at least he's safe and he's gone. But even I don't know if you guys know Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia. Her ex-husband Simon Gilbadia, who was a Nigerian guy. Yeah, he always had immigration problems, but somehow he was able to escape it. She married this man for money, and the minute she found out he had immigration problems, she divorced him real quick. But he was detained by ICE as well for a couple of months, and now he's been deported back to Nigeria. What up, Bunk?
Oh my gosh. I have this tweet in my DMs I wanted to read. Is that all the gist of the week?
I think that's all. That was a pretty good
That
gist
was
of the
good.
week, to be honest.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I've been meaning to bring it up for a hot minute, and when you spoke about it, I was like, "Oh my God, great!"
Yeah, no, that's so good that we're able to talk about it. Okay, so it took me 5 long years. But I finally accepted me and my ex will never work out, and that I need to move on. But the sexual chemistry was unmatched. Like, what the fuck, bro? Do y'all know how hard it is to find a real F-worder? And then the quote tweet was, the sex probably felt euphoric because you were starved in every other aspect of your relationship. Hope this helps.
Whoa.
Why do I relate to this so much?
Oh shit, sorry.
Wow.
Why do you relate to it so much?
Mr. Munch.
Yeesh.
I get it.
You know what, yeah.
I get it.
To be honest, like, it's just so many words. Nobody ate down though. Do you get me?
Literally.
Like, if you've overstayed your welcome, right, and it was only the research that was making you feel alive, there was definitely a lack in every other. Because how could you just say, just snacking was the only thing, that was keeping you there, and like you're saying how hard it is to find someone else that you can experience this kind of like, sexual compatibility with.
But you can't find someone else if you are
still hung up on that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So, like, you can find that and maybe better, but you just have to allow yourself to move on. You can't keep living in the past. You can't keep replaying the same track,
100%.
expecting to have different lyrics.
100%.
You know what? Yeah, sometimes I like things like this. Every second you spend with someone you're not supposed to, you miss the opportunity of being with someone you're supposed to be with.
And that person's only the best because you haven't gone out to go find better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because trust me, you end up finding out better and you're gonna forget and you'll be like, hold up.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's soul ties.
So while you were snacking at 12 p.m., let's say for example in an alternate universe, you was out at 12 p.m. getting a coffee, and you met your husband.
Yeah.
But now because you were
12 p.m.
snacking,
a.m. or p.m.
so a.m.
In the a.m.
No, p.m. p.m.
p.m.
Some
Yeah.
In the afternoon.
Afternoon, you're getting
Oh
coffee.
yeah,
people
yeah,
can
yeah.
actually meet.
Who's researching at 12 p.m.
Girl.
Girl.
That's nighttime shenanigans.
Let's
Um,
go. To you. You know what I mean? But you know when you're I'm not talking from experience, but when you're in that kind of like zone of meeting someone and
Being
researching
obsessed.
and just seeing each other often, like you start researching at like 3 p.m.
Stupid times.
Stupid times where you should be outside,
Times when you
chasing
should be
your
at work.
goals, networking,
You should be in meetings.
making
Pillow
money.
talking.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's not good, man. Leave him today.
Leave him.
Yeah, no, let go of that drama.
5
Let go of that.
years.
It's literally not worth it. And
Literally.
like that's literally a soul tie. And this is why it's so important who you lay beside.
Mhm.
Because it's like your body is craving that person and your mind is tied to your body. So you
Mhm.
think you're missing that person, but it's making you forget all the other things you cried about.
Mhm. Yeah. Like I don't know, like I just feel like I've gotten to a place where like I love myself a lot not to stay in a place that like I feel like it's not feeding me in the other areas. Like
Yeah.
you could be knacking, but did you have you eaten? You're hungry. You're knacking hungry.
You said
yeah.
there is more. I think there is more to, like, intimacy comes in different ways and different levels. And if you like, just same with looks, like if you're only holding on to one thing within a relationship, it's not the one for you. Because
Yeah.
looks fade, intimacy fades.
Yeah.
You need someone that's a partner, someone
Yeah.
who's a team member, someone that you
Yeah.
can go through the highs and the lows with.
Yeah.
But they do say that when you break up for about a year before you actually break up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the way out.
Yeah, and don't let it be a thing where you sit down and you stay because of those things, and then he ends up moving on and treating the next person better than you. Don't stay and wait for that, because that is what kills you. Leave now while you actually have the upper hand and find somebody better now.
I agree with that. But I'm also here for the girlies that stay until they're sick of it. And listen, it happens. It
It
happens.
does happen. Like we be lying to say if we haven't been there. It does happen.
Listen,
But that's just been my lesson.
We're the supportive sisters telling you it's okay. Go back until you're sick of it.
I read the comments, right, and the thing that made her leave, right, was basically so they were texting or whatever, and he basically just called her bare minimum.
Crazy.
No.
That's what
No.
they
And you know when Steve Harvey was like, "Don't let a man tell you he doesn't want you twice. One time is okay. We can walk around the one
bare
time.
minimum. No, guys, I'm going to jail. Like lock me up.
And apparently it was a joke.
There's no believe a man when he says it. Believe a man when he says
What does that even mean?
Bare minimum.
Your bare minimum.
Like she's the lowest it gets.
Sheesh. No.
But that's it. Bare minimum. It's the bottom bar. Like that's as low as it gets.
Wait, no. Is he saying that he only has to give her the bare minimum? Like she only accepts the
as
bare
in
minimum?
her as a
person is bare minimum. She's the bottom of the barrel for him. That's what you just said. You're bare minimum. You're the least amount of effort I have to put into knock. But that's what he just said. Why are you saying it like that? That's what he said.
I haven't
tweeted. I said, guys, I'm going to jail. Like, no.
That's
like,
actually making me emotional for her.
Emotional rage.
And she used this.
Rage. I'm jumping on my bonnet.
She used this. That's
Lisa
and that's the reason why.
Girl.
And that's the reason why when it comes now when it comes to guys and dating them or whatever, as soon as I hear a sense of you're gonna hate me, I have to leave because I don't want to hear. I remember the guy that called me fat. As soon as he said that, the day there and then, I did the thing.
You know where you're at.
Yeah. I can't.
You know where you're at.
I can't. I have to leave because what do you mean? Imagine someone now you've been intimate with, like intimate. You guys are.
But you know the honest truth about men,
now
right?
calls you something.
You know the honest truth about men is that as much as they can lie, they let the truth slip out very easily. It's whether
Yeah.
you're listening or
Mm-hmm.
not.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
disguised
100%.
in really weird ways. Like I once had a guy say to me that he goes, "But you don't even have a title yet."
Sheesh.
So actually, funny enough, we're coming back from the podcast and we're talking about a dilemma. Because he has a podcast, I have a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a dilemma. And then he asked me how I would react. I don't even remember what the story was. And then I said how I react. And I was like, I would never I would never let a man catch me out my character. So I was like, I wouldn't have a reaction. And then he goes, "Oh, but that's because you don't have a title yet." But you know when someone's talking, right, and they haven't even clocked that they have just said something extremely like violating because he's just talking. He's not realized that he said something massively red flagged. But I heard it
Mm-hmm.
and I went home, guys, and I slept. And I don't know what God put in me that night. I woke up and I thought to myself,
Mm.
who the fuck does this guy think that I'm the one waiting for a title? Why isn't he not waiting for a
100%.
title? And that was the day it switched off
Switched.
in my head. And I was like, absolutely over my dead body will you see me again.
Mm-hmm.
And he was blowing up my phone and he was calling. Like I even answered the calls and he was like, "Why'd you have an attitude?" Until today, I never confronted him about that sentence he said. Till today, he doesn't know that I know he said it. I'm even sure that he probably doesn't even know he said it. And if I was to say it, it'd probably be a
You'd be like,
shock.
oh.
But it was something that I heard
You
and I
know,
was
I
like,
didn't mean it like that. You know, I was only saying it. I was only joking.
do you
Yeah,
get me?
joke. Right,
No.
come on.
When
Jog on.
someone says it one
Give it over.
time, freaking believe them.
Tell them
Believe
to
them.
leave them.
That's so funny. I love Justin Bieber.
Bro, one time, bro. Cool. This girl on TikTok, yeah, her name is Shifa's Diary. Have to shout her out. She basically called out all the women who do up content. Not all of them, okay, because some could be legit, and some may not be legit. But she called out women who come online and say, you know, I have this is an ick, this is an ick, this is an ick. If he doesn't take you to this place, and so that all those women that do those kind of content around men are frauds.
They
And
are.
that's not how life really is. Like what to what extent is what they're saying true? Because obviously we're girls, we're dating, so we know we see things. Do you get me? We see things, and you as a woman dating, like when I see videos like this, I'm like, some of this is true, but I still take it with a pinch of salt because
Yeah.
not every man, like, what kind of men are they dating? What kind of environment are they in? The same way men. So I thought of it as like the same way men seek validation from like the men group chat.
The boys.
Who
The
this
boys.
is the same way like women seek validation from other women. So let's say, for example, I could come online and be like, yeah, don't let a man take you to Cheesecake
Nando's.
Factory. Cheesecake Factory is
Take me to Cheesecake
oh,
Factory. I love
Cheesecake
cheesecake.
Factories. They have lasagna, and then they will have they will have also special fried rice and Korean
Yeah.
chicken on the same menu. I'm sorry, like I like a good time. That's besides the point. They will come online and say, "Don't let a man take you to Cheese Factory
Take you to Red
on
Lobster.
the Red Lobster
But
on the
they're
first
also
date."
catching Happy Meals.
But at the end of the day, they're like, you know what I mean? They're living a different life off social media and stuff like that. So like, but they seek validation of women being like, "Yes, girl, you're right." That's another way women would seek validation of other
And
women.
the maddest thing about things like that, when women turn around and say, "Oh, like, don't let a man treat you like this. He needs to take you to these better places." Men will take you to those expensive places.
Hey,
You still
dog
won't
you
mean
out,
shit.
bro.
You still won't mean shit.
And that's
You're going
That will
to,
buy you out, and you still won't mean shit.
you're going to the Shard on a Wednesday. He's taking Next Babe on Friday.
Can I
You're
say?
going to a Shard on a
Let me-
Wednesday.
like-
You're not even a
Oh,
weekend Shard.
God.
Sis, weekend shark babe is crazy. Also, like, don't date a man that doesn't have a job, doesn't have a car, doesn't have this. A man could have a car, a house, a flipping Lamborghini, but doesn't mean
Don't still mean he like you, girl.
he can be. Ugh, there could be a lot of DV going on. You just don't know. You just
Yeah.
don't know.
But I definitely think you need to take
Pinch of-
social media 100%.
With a
Took
pinch of
words out of
salt.
my mouth. Pinch of
Yeah.
salt.
Pinch of salt.
Because we all have different boundaries.
Yeah.
And it's never, like, what I've realized in this world, it's never until you get to the boundary being crossed
Yeah.
that is actually your boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of women will be like, yeah, if he doesn't do X, Y, Z, but he does X, Y, and you're okay with it.
You're okay with it. And
You
that's
allow
okay.
it. And that's fine.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone
Well,
has different boundaries. 100%.
Let's just, like, let's all, like, your icks, your boundaries are your own. don't force it down other people's throat, and don't look down on other people that might have
Right.
lighter boundaries or might have higher boundaries.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're all doing life for the first time.
100%.
Facts. Like, I just, like, when she said, I was like, yeah, it is right, because obviously I've been dating, and I've dated men that are upper, and I've dated men that are, I've dated men at different life cycles.
Yeah.
And
let me
one thing is everything is the same, as in the only thing that matters is if they actually like you.
Yeah.
And if you actually want to be there.
And sometimes they like
and
you.
your standards.
Sometimes they like you, but still doesn't mean they like you enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Sometimes they might actually look at you and be like, she's a great person, she's a cool girl. Doesn't mean like you're the one for them.
And just because they like you doesn't mean you need to give them your time.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Do you know what? I think we
Be
should
true to yourself.
We should start seeing men as handbags. Right? No, listen.
Say that again, baby.
I think we need to start, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's nice to have a handbag. It's nice to show it off. You know what I mean? It's nice to put it on the table. But that handbag is not our life. That handbag is not everything.
Yeah.
Our handbag is just an accessory to us to show us who we are.
And you get to pick and choose what you put inside the handbag.
You pick and choose what you
If you
put
want to
in
give
the
effort today,
handbag.
you give effort today. If you don't want to give effort today,
yeah.
give effort today.
But at the end of the day, that handbag is always uplifting you. You're not uplifting that handbag. You're not wearing that. You are wearing that handbag. That handbag is not wearing you. But
you can have other handbags.
No, you have one handbag. Oh, actually, to be honest,
yeah, if you're single, you can have other handbags.
You can have other handbags and you can pick them up. It depends. You have different handbags for different occasions. But I actually have a dilemma.
Ooh.
And somebody was feeling a bit wild today. Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have some as well. But keep going.
Sorry. So it goes, when can I come on the show? Well, I don't know who you are, so you guys like
depending on who you are.
Yeah.
The seat is welcome.
But serious question. Who's an overrated artist? One Irish and one international. Wow. Really gisting today.
Overrated.
Crazy.
I don't really know any in Ireland, to be fair.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Let me look about overrated.
That's why I was literally like a bit of like a.
Why are you trying to get us in trouble?
I know. But I'm gonna share it onto the GTG page.
Dude.
But I definitely feel like it sort of actually reminded me. I went to an event on the weekend, and it was an open mic night for Irish artists. Zen events. It was actually so banging. It really
Zen events?
Yeah, it really reminded me how much is going on in the Irish scene and like how much Ireland is actually being slept on. So my official answer, not for pure or anything, is I think there is nobody overrated, because we're all still on a growing journey. There is no one that can be overrated, and I think that's the problem with Ireland. People want like, oh, who's bad, who's this? No, we're all trying our best, and we should be supporting each other, uplifting each other, and
100%.
like just So for me, I don't think there's any overrated artists.
They're not even at not in a bad way, but they're not even at that level to be overrated. Because I even looked up the definition is like the person that's gotten more praise and attention, or is valued more than they actually deserve. We're not even valuing each other enough, or putting each other on enough to even get to a point where we're overrated.
Yeah, 100%.
Even in fact, if I was called overrated, thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, overrated.
Literally.
Overrated.
But the international star, I feel like we could say that.
Like an international artist.
You know, it's like that time Ree said she doesn't really like Beyonce like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll still sit with that. I'll still hold that.
Yeah, sit with that, Ree. Sit with that. Before the beehives chew you up.
I'm trying to think, because I'm also trying to be very logical as well.
An overrated artist.
Overrated.
Some would have said Ice Spice. But I like some of her tunes, though. They go crazy.
I never resonated with her.
She could be someone that, typically, and this is a safe answer, by the way. This is a safe answer. I think because if you're a Twitter warrior like me, you would know where I'm coming from. But like, this is just a safe answer. Other than that, I can't think of anyone, because whether or not, right, these artists that are out there that are in our faces, they have a talent. Do you get me? Or we could say Jennifer Lopez.
J-Lo.
Yeah, where's the bum that everyone said she had growing up?
Damn.
Wow. Wow, Ross. It's about music.
Sorry.
It's about music. Music.
Well, no, I feel like I was frauded. Like growing up, I was always told that like, oh, J-Lo has that body, J-Lo this, J-Lo that.
She has a really
Back
nice
in the
face
90s,
card.
Like she's
So,
a beautiful
well, it was
woman.
pre-BBL season.
But I feel even like her, like there's African women like your ass is bigger than J-Lo's.
But
And it's real.
back in J-Lo's time, it wasn't about the roundness or the rumpness. It was about this skinny physique. It was like that, you know? But she was curvy, was skinny. She was basically the skinny BBL
I don't know.
without the BBL. But anyways, I think Taylor Swift.
But she
I
makes
l-
good music.
I
then.
liked her in her beginning
Yeah,
stages.
she makes like
I'll
now.
piggyback off that.
Yeah,
Okay.
now I
Now-
actually
okay.
don't listen to her at all.
yeah, but like there's a lot of people who would disagree because they find value in her music.
But
The reason why I said J-Lo and Ice Spice is because is there value in their music or what they're producing, you know, touching the masses?
Yeah, well, their niche, their communities.
Like-
they're touching their communities.
For me, it's like when it comes to the Taylor Swift thing, because
Numbers don't lie.
Taylor Swift is older
Okay.
than us, right? And it's like when we grew up with Taylor Swift, like
Mhm.
it was okay because at that age, it was okay for us to listen to that. But to me, it just felt like she never grew up. Like she stayed
Same.
still creating music for that demographic, even though she's about 20 years older than the demographic.
And that demographic never grew up.
Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, just don't relate to her anymore.
I don't relate to her, yeah. What about
Like-
Lana Del Rey?
I like you better stay away from her.
I loved
You better
her song
step
Born to Die.
step
Really?
back. Step
I'm
back.
never getting
guys,
into Lana Del
Step
Rey.
back.
Guys,
A little bit over.
guys, I
A little
think
bit.
I think this is a controversial one because like
No,
a
no.
lot of people
Okay.
for me The Weeknd.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Oh my
Not
god,
even-
you guys are reading my people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys
no,
are reading my people.
Can I tell you why I don't like The Weeknd? Yeah, it's okay, cool. The difference between The Weeknd and The Weeknd, right? He makes music right about sex, and it's so overtly, very evident that it's about sex. Can you not put some innuendos in there? Put some wordplay in there, and it's the same thing over and over again. Like you see Tory Lanez, you see Drake. They talk about it all the time, but
The
it's
square root
it's
of
in
69 is
eight
8
something. 8 something.
8 something because it is 8 something.
Literally, like
And you do eat something.
like I don't know, just
Damn.
make it more like, and it's just the same sound. I think he's a siren.
He sounds, I don't know what he's sirening because it's not me. It just sounds like noise in my head.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like...
But yeah, that's I agree with those over.
Party Next Door, listen to
overrated.
him. You see how he
Party Next Door, Trauma.
Traumatized, I
Whoa.
can't see the night.
That's a real artist right there.
Yeah.
Traumatized, I need you
Yeah.
in my life.
And he will sing about sex. He will sing
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But you just don't, I could play it with my mom. She wouldn't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But if I was to play The Weeknd about a weekend around my mom, she would say, Demilade, turn that off. Put gospel on.
I think that sorry, that was such a skill teacher. I was like, I think sorry. But I think we Irish artists, they just need to start dropping more music.
Yeah.
I actually miss because there's a lot of talented people. Like when we
Mhm.
did the Guinness Storehouse, Sylvia Demai,
Mm-hmm.
Banging.
she like when
She's
she
a
stepped on
performer.
that stage, she ate my soul up.
Mhm.
I was like, hey yo,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
She hands down amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. There were so many amazing people I actually think there that
Mhm.
day. Tolu McKay. I think she posted up something this week where she got dropped by her label and she decided to go independent. And now the song that she dropped, War, is like number 7 on Irish radio. She did that ish
For
herself.
herself. There's actually a new artist that I saw at an event called Janaea.
Mhm.
I'm now fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a banger.
Yeah.
Like summer
Please,
tune.
Please.
So yeah, we needed more music. Listen, so to answer that question, no one's overrated because you're not rating enough music.
In Ireland.
And
yeah.
that's
I
what
like
we
that.
need.
Well, to be honest, yeah, that's actually fair
Yeah.
enough.
So once
Yeah.
you start dropping more songs, then we can
Mhm.
start saying who's
Who's
overrated.
overrated? Yeah.
Right, we get
Okay.
through your thread and then we'll wrap
Like
up.
my thread is about to have y'all shook up, right?
Yay!
It's about to have y'all
I love to
shook.
be shook.
Shook. Can't sleep. Tell me the grossest thing you caught your ex doing. Not some nose picking business. Give me something diabolical.
Bro.
He cheated on me while I was pregnant with our second. I found out 3 days before my birthday. I forgave him only for him to do it again with 2 different women through the years. I'm now 5 days single.
Standard procedure.
Shout out to you for being 5 days single. And hopefully, because
5
this was
days.
3 days ago when this was posted, I'm hoping you're 8 days single.
I don't think so.
I'm praying for her.
I don't think so.
Believe
This
it.
is the first time.
True.
Anyways.
Believe them the first time. That's what we
Mhm.
mean. Okay, convincing old people online he was a day trader, scamming them out of hundreds and thousands of dollars. I turned him into the FBI and worked with them behind his back for 6 months before they finally raided our house. He still doesn't know it was me.
Wow.
That's so good. Like,
I like
I'm
that
so
one.
shocked. Well,
I like him.
I also want to clap my hands.
That's it. Those day traders scamming all of us.
Bro.
Scam me, bro.
Damn.
Do you want to make 20K?
Yeah,
No.
I thought I was gonna make 20K.
Oh,
I thought I spent my last of my savings on one of those trading courses. Wasn't my proudest moment. 2018 wasn't my favorite year. I'll tell you that for nothing.
you're young. You're young.
Okay. This one goes, he didn't use toilet paper, dated for all of a week, caught a whiff, jokingly said, "Did you shit yourself?" And he said, "It's just the normal skid marks."
Did she stay?
She said she only dated him for a week. Once
How'd
she
you
found
only
out,
Dated for a week.
a
The
week.
one time
See,
I realized there's the toilet paper is still there, that's my sign to go.
No. See,
The
can I say
minute
something?
you get the whiff, that's your sign to go.
I've recently realized that men don't use tissue when they pee. They just shake and go, right? Calm.
Sometimes.
To not use tissue when you're doing a number 2 is crazy.
If you don't have a bidet, there's no reason for you to be doing that.
Oh, she ate with that.
But most people who has a bidet
If there's no bidet, there's no way.
council aren't doing it.
No, but you can actually get that kind of stuff on Amazon and like fix it in yourself. A lot of
Fix
Muslims like apparently it's easy enough to do. A lot of Muslims do actually have bidets. Like it's part of their culture and stuff. Am I right, production?
Listen, wait, what Amazon link is that?
Link will be in the-
Muslims are clean.
Link will be in the description
They're
box.
clean. Okay, stealing my clothes, dressing up as me, wig and all, soliciting himself to transsexuals using my name. I had no idea, and we were married for a decade. We're no longer married. I'm so sorry to that.
Why would you use my name?
I dressed up as her
Not the wig.
and wig and everything.
What were the signs before the marriage? She saw the signs. She
Believe
ignored
them when they tell you the first time. The minute you catch that thing slipping, don't question it, ladies. Address it.
He starts with picking your outfits. I'll just pick this up at the shop for you, babe. Here you go.
Do you not remember when we were in my opinion podcast and the child walked in on her father? That's what happens.
Yeah.
Just saying.
They know.
Mm-hmm. His room smelled really bad and he had holes in his walls. His brother told me he was peeing in his walls because he was too lazy to walk to the bathroom.
Wait, but why would you make the wall? Isn't unlazy? It's very unlazy to put holes in your wall so you can pee in them. No, like that's mold.
Even if you did pee in the trash.
Yeah, some people are stupid.
But you're actually putting mold into your house. Do you know how expensive that is to fix?
But it wasn't his house. It's probably his parents' house or something like that.
But you know how expensive
And
that
I'm
is to fix.
hoping-
Do you know how it is when you get mold in your house? You know how hard it is to get out.
I'm also hoping his room's on the ground floor.
Yeah, you start leaking
Oh
through your
my
walls and all, like
God.
wooden floors, gone ski.
Oh my gosh. That's why you shouldn't eat in people's houses.
That's crazy.
Don't
bro.
go eat in people's houses.
He was too lazy to throw away his daily contact lenses if he was already in bed, so he ate them.
What?
Oh God. Oh God.
Do contact lenses taste of anything?
Crisp.
Jumpy.
Guys, this one's a bit jump scare. He had logged into his Google account on my phone one time, and I noticed it one day. So the curious girl in me decided to see what his history was like.
Oh,
And I
so
found, why am I attracted to my mom?
in his defense, there is a theory. It's called Freudian's theory, and that basically that theory. I think it was I don't know what that word is, but it basically means psychologically. It means like men are attracted to their mums because it's the first woman that they see in their lives. So they misjudge their affection for like lust. So that's why men like are very protective of their moms, because they have like it's basically their first love. But it's because as a child, your psychology, your psyche, you can't differentiate between maternal love and actual love. So that's why a lot of men end up loving their mums. But he took it a step further with like like that. But I was just saying in his defense, but it's still messed up.
Guys, I hope you guys know what a Malamute is.
No. What's a
Okay,
Malamute?
I'm gonna show you a photo afterwards. Let me quickly just go to what a
A Malamute.
You want me to look it up while you
Wait,
read?
is that
you
is
guys
that the animal?
okay.
I just
Is that
spell
the
it.
animal that has like
You guys look up what a Malamute is, but I'm gonna read it and say my ex cheated on me with his Malamute. Yes, it is what you think it is. I was traumatized and I left him.
oh
Wait, what is it? The Wi-Fi is not working. What is it? What is it? A dog. A dog. She there with a dog. I thought it was like. At least it's not rats. I guess. How did he cheat? Did he?
I
Oh.
don't want to know.
Did he?
How do you?
Was it consensual?
Oh,
It was not consensual for the Malamute.
I think
Reese actually about to cry, bro.
what's going on? How do you even like? How did you get? Do you know what I realized? Yeah, because it's also with horses. People are mad for doing that with horses as well. Yeah. How do you get to that level? Like, how do you just look and say that's a bit of me? Because that's wrong.
Why did she say it like that? Why did she say it like that?
That's a bit of me is crazy. That's a bit of me is crazy.
No, but like, well, it's not right.
Is there more?
It's not right.
But it's not okay. It's not okay.
I'm gonna make
Okay, this one is freaked out on me, then left and was hiding under my bed for hours. Did not know until I was going to sleep, and he came out. He said he was testing to see if I would talk bad about him to my friends.
new fear unlocked.
I'll be checking my bed now.
I've got a duvan.
Right, I'm trying to see.
Just 2 more.
Just 2 more?
We've gone
Yeah.
past an hour.
Oh, we've gone past an hour already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm actually gonna leave it on this.
Oh.
We held hands and he had some blood on his fingers.
Mm.
Said he didn't know where it came from. Later found out it was another girl's period.
I'm crashing now. I'm going to get a cucumber and I'm going to shove it where the sun doesn't shine and see if he likes it. I'm going to make him eat it. Because what's going on? Plastic packaging off and everything. What the hell? Oh, what the hell? Wait. But how? I hope she left.
Tune in next week, guys.
That's
Tune in next week for your weekly subscription to the gist.
That was a wild episode.
I got me for your meat, I am mad. Shawty in that man when it